لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Dear all participants and students, our gathering this evening is to be together in a knowledge sharing event with an expert we brought from an outside institution. As everyone knows, control structure is an important element and one of the fundamental knowledge areas in programming that students need to master. Understanding the algorithm designed for each type of control structure is very important in developing correct and quality programs. In this session, we will listen to the sharing about selection structure, which is a type of control structure from our guest speaker. But before we start, let's have a photo sessions with our guest speaker. Right, so sebelum kita nak start ni, kita nak ambil gambar dulu. Takut bila dah habis nanti semua dah macam tak rupa orang dah. Okay, so sementara semua lagi cantik-cantik, comel-comel and handsome ni, so kita have a photo session first, okay, with our guest speaker here. Alright, so maybe before we start, maybe we can have a sound testing with our speaker here. Hi, Miss Shahida. Is everything good?
Hello, hi, Hadi.
Okay, all right. So it sounds great. Sounds clear to all audience. Can you hear clearly from Miss Shahida? Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, Madam Sulasri, maybe we can have a photo session.
Huh? Sini di
Okay, so maybe kita sekali lagi ya. So kekalkan senyuman. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, say cheese. Okay, alright. Dah Madam Sulasri? Okay. Oh, satu lagi. Oh, okay. Alright, so semua tengok dekat ni, kamera kita ni. Okay, alright. Okay, so semua tengok dekat kamera depan ni yang kecil ni. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, alright, so thank you very much. Okay, so now, okay, so before I turn this afternoon session over to our guest speaker, so allow me to share a bit of her background. Yeah, on. Okay, so Ms. Nur Shahida binti Rahman is a higher education officer or a lecturer who served in Jabatan Teknologi Maklumat dan Komunikasi Politeknik Muka. She is an alumni of the Diploma in Computer Science, UiTM Samarahan campus. She holds a bachelor's degree in Computer Science from UiTM Sri Iskandar campus, Perak, and a master's degree in Computer Science majoring in Software and Intelligence Engineering, University Technical Malaysia Melaka. So her area of expertise is in the field of software analysis and development. So Ms. Shahida, just want to check, is everything good and are you ready, Ms. Shahida?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Okay, so without further delay, so we would like to invite Ms. Nur Shahida binti Rahman, a lecturer from Polytechnic Muka, to deliver her sharing. Okay, Ms. Shahida, the platform is yours.
Hello. Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator, Syah Abdul Hadi, and my lecturers, and and all the students. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. So before that, okay, we just go through to the selection part. Okay, I share my slide first. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, Miss Shahida, crystal clear.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so today we proceed about selection control structures. As Zubaidah mentioned before, you have learned about sequence control structure, but never mind. Today we only focus about the selection control structures. So this is an example of analogy. This is an example of analogy in the selection. This is about in your real life. For example, here you have a chocolate, but in your life there are some people love to eat dark chocolate, and there is some people love to eat milk chocolate. You have choices in your life. For example, if you want to choose the dark chocolate, if you love to eat dark chocolate, then you eat dark chocolate. But if you doesn't like dark chocolate, you can have another choice. It's about you can eat milk chocolate. This is an example. Another example for selection analogy. Just now you have two choices in your life, but now you have add on another one choices. You have three choices in your life. Either you want to eat milk chocolate, either dark chocolate, or white chocolate. So in your life you have multiple choices. Okay, so this is an example of chocolate. And the last selection analogy, this is just an example. It's about weather. Even if the weather is cloudy or sunny day, or windy, stormy, partially cloudy, or rainy. So we have several choices of weather. This is an example of selection. So we go back to the control structure. What is control structures? It's a logic structures that controls the flow of instruction to be executed by computer program. And in this control structure, it uses single entry and single exit, means that it only has one beginning and one ending. In the previous, you have learned in sequence, it's the process of from top to bottom. But in the selection or repetition, you have another choices. There are three categories of control structures, such as sequence, selection, and repetition. But today, we only focus on the selection part. So we look at the selection control structure. It's execution of instruction based on result of a condition either true or false. So uh, in this part, you have a condition to fulfill, either true or false. And we look at here, if the condition result is true, the program control will execute instruction within the true loop operation. Otherwise, if the condition is give the false result to us, it will execute the instruction within the false loop operation. So there are several types of selection: if selection, if else selection, if else if else selection, and nested if selection. This is an example for control structure mapping. So we have a situation for the three control structure. For the first one, is the problem solving depends on the option. The option is about true or false. So if your problem is doesn't need option, you need to set it's true or false. So your problem is about sequence control structure. But if yours problem depending on true or false option, so we look at here, yes, but we need to look at another situation. Is the problem need to be repeated until the problem solved? If your problem doesn't need to repeat for several times, so it goes to the selection control structure. So you can solve your problem by using selection control structure. But if your problem need to be repeated several times, so your you can solve this problem by using repetition control structures. But never mind, today we only covered on the selection control structures. We just focus on option true or false. Okay, so next, in the selection control structures, we have several rules in the selection. The first one is one-way selection. In one-way selection, you only have one option. So the example of selection is if selection. In if selection, only do the instruction if condition is true. But how about if condition is not true, false? So that's mean there is no instruction will be executed in this situation. Nothing happened. So the second one is two-way selection. The example of two-way selection is if else. In this situation, it's only the instruction if the condition is true or condition is false. Okay, the further explanation I will explain later. And the third one is multiple way selection. That means you have several options. You have more than two options. You can have three, four, five, and even 10 options you can have in this selection. The example is if else, and nested if. The selection to the instruction if the condition is true or condition is false and multiple times. That's mean you have test the condition for several times. The condition is different. So we proceed to the first one. The first control structure is about if selection. This is the syntax about pseudocode and flowchart, and this topic we only covered about pseudocode and flowchart. This is the syntax for pseudocode. As usual, we start, then if. There is the condition. Then there is true statement. After we do if, after we write if condition, then you must end if with an if statement. So that's mean your if then if you have an if, then you can exit the execution. So the expression below, the condition is evaluated first. So we need to evaluate the condition first. If the condition evaluated is true, then true statement will be executed. So how about when the condition is false? So if the condition is false, there is no action happen. So this is the example of flowchart. This is the syntax of flowchart. You start, then you have a condition. You have the condition, then you have true and false statement. So if true, it will give you the output. But in this situation, if you have the false condition, there's nothing happen. So it go to the end and end the execution. Next, this is an example. Selection control structure. If user will input the value of GPA in range 0.1 until 4.0, if the value of GPA is greater than 2.5, it will display congratulations you pass. Before we start answer the question, we must identify what is the main variable, what is the main point in this question. So here, we look at input. So our input is about GPA. So then, how do we identify the condition? So the condition is here. The value of GPA is greater than 2.5. So if the condition is true, it will display congratulations, you pass. So here, that is an example for pseudocode. First, start, then enter GPA. So here, our input is about GPA, sorry. So this is our input, GPA. So then we start with if statement. If statement and condition. So our condition is about GPA is greater than 2.5. So GPA greater than 2.5. After that, if true, it will display congratulations, you pass. So, and if the expected output, what if the input value for our GPA is 3.0? So we can look here. If GPA is greater than 2.5, so our GPA, here our expected output is 3, so 3 is greater than 2.5. The result is true. So if the result is true, so it will be displayed, the output will be displayed as about congratulations, you pass. Okay, so now we look at the about the flowchart. So start, then enter GPA with the input symbol. Then this is the condition, GPA greater than 2.5. So you must state the true and false statement. So we can know where is the true direction and where is the false direction. So if the condition is true, it will display congratulations, you pass. While if the condition is false, so it will exit the execution. Okay, this is about if statement. This is an example for exercise 1. You can try, but after this I will share to you the answer. So here, you asked to develop pseudocode and flowchart for below statement. A system to check the eligibility of a person to vote during the election. The The input for the system is the person age. If the age is greater than 20 years old, it will display you are eligible to vote message. So here, before we start our pseudocode flowchart, we need to identify what is the main point in our question. So here, um, the input for the system is the person age. So here mention about person age. So this is our main point. Then our condition also mention about age. So, okay. So, oh, sorry. So, sorry. Okay. Okay, this is an example of answer. So you must start. Then just now it's about the person age. So we enter age and we start about condition. So if what is about condition? The condition is age is greater than 20. So in type here age is greater than 20. Then it will display you are eligible for. So I just copy here. Right. So display you are eligible to vote. Then what happened next? There is nothing statement or condition. So we end our if statement. Then and our pseudocode or in our program. So this is an example for answering the question for exercise 1. So for the expected output, what if the input value for age is 21? So we can test here. We enter the age is 21. So uh, greater than, sorry. So if age greater than 20, so our age example is 21. So 21 greater than 20. So the answer is true. So if the answer is true, then it will display you are eligible to vote. So this is the answer. So expected output is you are eligible to vote. Okay, this is it. So how about if the input value for age is 20? So you enter your age 20. So 20 greater than 20. True or false? So the answer is false. But when the answer is false, nothing happened. Okay, nothing happened. So there is no action for false statement. So there is no output. Okay, this is the answer example for flowchart. Start, then enter the age. So age greater than 20. So if true, display you are eligible to vote, and if false, and the execution. Okay, so next we have done for if statements. So next we proceed on if else statement. In this if else statement, you have two options. So here the syntax for pseudocode start if condition, then if condition is true because statement 1, then you have else. Okay, we have some new keyword here, else, statement 2, and if. So we look at the explanation below. The condition is evaluated first. So we need to evaluate the condition first. Then, if the condition is evaluated true, so if the first condition is true, the statement 1 will be executed. Then, the statement 2 will be skipped. The program that will ignore the statement number 2. If the condition is evaluated to false, then statement 2 is executed and statement 1 is skipped. So here, if we have one condition, so if the first condition is false, it goes to else. Then it will skip statement 1 When it goes to else, it will execute the else statement. So we look at the chart. So start and condition, you have true, false,